Hi, I'm Dan with Big Brand Water Filter. In this video, we're going to compare the Hayward No. 2 bag housing with our Big Brand X2 housing. Just looking at the two side by side explains a lot of the differences, just in physical sheer size of the units. This Hayward housing weighs about 70 pounds, and our X2 is about 9 pounds. They're both on our web. They both have 2-inch inlet outlet. They both have approximately 90 to 100 gallon a minute rated flow rates, but there are some big differences between these two housings. Starting right off, you can see that the lid on the Hayward is much thicker and more industrial. The X2 housing has a smaller lid and is overall more compact. There's a pressure tap on the top of this housing, which also can be used as an air bleed. The air bleed's built in on the Hayward housing. One of the big differences is these union connections that are on this Hayward housing. This allows you to move the inlet and outlet from one side to the other, and then there's an integral base to mount it to the ground. On our X2 housing, you have to either buy the stainless legs or hang it from the pipes. The inlet is on the side and the outlet's at the bottom. If you use metallic fittings, you have to be careful on this housing not to over tighten it, because in areas where the temperature changes are dramatic, when the plastic and the metal heat and cool at different rates, it can crack right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and open the housings and we'll take a look inside. Here we have the baskets side by side. This is the X2 basket, and you can see it's much smaller and more compact than the Hayward basket. The bag fits inside the basket, and then the basket goes in the housing, and then the lid goes on. Another thing you'll notice is there's no O-ring seal on this basket, sealing the basket into the housing or sealing the bag into the basket. So this is a great housing for what we call coarse industrial applications. Maybe you just want to get the big stuff out of the water. We commonly get people who are maybe pulling water from a river or a lake, and they just want to get the big stuff out. This is a great housing for it. Great for lower pressures, moderate temperatures. But when you really need an industrial housing, when you go to this Hayward, you have this much heavier duty basket that opens and splits in two. You have O-rings to seal the bag in. You have the handle that flips over that then locks the bag in. And you have a more industrial overall setup. In conclusion, our X2 housing is a fantastic housing for low pressure, moderate use applications such as residential water treatment or light commercial use where it's going to be serviced occasionally. But if you need a more industrial housing that you're servicing daily or on a more regular basis, you may want to consider this Hayward No. 2. Also, the bag is much larger that goes in the Hayward, so you're going to get longer time between bag changes. This concludes the video on our comparison between the Hayward No. 2 housing and our X2 bag housing.